Hey guys, James here today, and I'm joined by Johnny Watt from Frontier Developments to talk about Planet Coaster.
Nice one.
So thanks for being here and giving me the time of day.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Let's start off with you've been working on coaster games for a long time, right?
Probably since 2002 as well, by my calculations. I started off on Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, doing the expansion packs, which were, I think they were Wacky Worlds and Time Twister.
Nice, yeah. And so then you went on to do Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 as well, I presume, and then Coaster Crazy.
Yeah.
Was that the most recent one that you worked on before this?
We did Scream Ride.
Scream Ride,
from
yes.
Microsoft,
Yes,
so that
yes,
had
yes.
some sort of coaster building in, and yeah, that was quite interesting.
Nice. So yeah, you guys got a lot of experience doing this. It's not your first game of this genre, and you have just a passion for it as well. This is what you want to be doing.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So going back to when I worked on them, I didn't know anything about coaster games back in 2002. We were asked to do this expansion pack. Started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and got absolutely hooked. Always like going on coasters, but building coasters in the game, even better. So yeah, a theme throughout my whole sort of development career, making coaster games.
Yeah, I mean, games always turn out so much better when the team behind it is doing it because they want to do it, not just because someone told them to do it. So
Absolutely. So a few things there. First off, I think about a third of the people who worked on the original Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 are working on Planet Coaster. That's pretty cool. So we have some veterans. Yeah. Even cooler is we've got all these new graduates who have come in who have their own ideas. So it's a perfect fusion of sort of experience, new blood, just all working together with like sort of smiles on our faces. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's been so long since we've had a full, theme park simulation game. Like you said, there's been Scream Ride, Coaster Crazy. While they were fantastic, they didn't quite fill the void that we've all been, craving for.
No, I think you can build good coasters in them, but a deep simulation like what we did, 10 years ago. This is the first time, and it's really. I feel really privileged to do it. I'd also like to thank sort of David Braben, David Walsh, like sort of the directors of Frontier that we're doing it on our own ticket. We're self-published, and it's just amazing that we can actually do the game that we wanted to make for a long time.
So I think, sorry, just as you were mentioning those names, it just brings back memories of the cheats from the game.
Yeah, that's it.
So I mean, people may not know you personally, but they may know your name from entering the cheat. What was your cheat?
So my name is First Person Cam, and my cheat was Johnny Watts.
Yes.
The wrong way around, but that's it. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of first person, are we going to be able to walk around the park in first person? Is that something you want to do?
So we're going to be able to walk around the park with like a very tight third person. We still want to just slightly elevate it, but following your guests.
But you can get right down there. Yeah, fantastic.
Well, you've seen the game. How beautiful is it when you get close up?
The details are fantastic.
Yeah. So any opportunity I can get that you can click on something and see that, definitely going to get it in.
Cool. Yeah, nice. So, I mean, people want to know as well, you kind of touched on it a moment ago, but the sort of business management, this is not just a game to build a park and, look at it. You actually have to get your business going, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. 2 parts of the game. Super creativity, trying to be even more creative than the old roller coaster games. But yeah, simulation. We want a really deep, sophisticated simulation where in some ways you can look at it, you have to build a machine to try and extract the most amount of money out of your guests, and you have to use all the tricks of the trade to do that.
Yeah, no, that's really good to hear, because there's been a few other games that have done theme parks in a creative part, but they haven't got the management down. They haven't got the part that's kind of the game. I mean, while making a park is fantastic, sometimes you want a bit of game to play as well.
Oh, definitely, and I like to do like a little bit of a shout out to City Skyline to show that management is back in fashion.
Yes.
So we knew it as game developers and game enthusiasts and things like that, but now there's a commercial reason for putting the commercial simulation into the game. Awesome.
That's going to be that. I'm super excited. When I was in the game earlier, and people can check out the video as well, just zooming in and some of the detail, like the animations in your game as well. Like I heard that it was something that Pixar sort of. What did they mention about the animations?
So we did a game called Connected Land Adventures. Again, it wasn't a theme park game, but it was set in a theme park, a Disney park, and we had to get all the characters approved by Disney and Pixar, and they just loved our animation team. Approval processes are normally quite notoriously difficult. Passed first time. Nick Rogers and the whole animation crew, they just nailed it.
Yeah, some of the animations and the expressions on the guests they're really, really good. And speaking about the guests as well, the movement through the park, it's amazing what you guys have done with all the sort of flow of the guests. Whereas in the past it was rigid on a grid, and but now they sort of brush past each other and properly pathfind. And is that something that you've really sort of?
We concentrate on it. That's why it's the first thing in the alpha is that simulation is deep, but it's only as good as the guests get on the rides, going to the toilet, going to the shops. And so we had to get our crowd sort of navigation system working absolutely correctly. We also had to make sure that the paths, we wanted to get away from just doing things at right angles. We want to do curves so you can build the park of your dreams. And getting those two things to work together was a real technical and artistic challenge, and we're really pleased with the results. And that's why we're releasing it in alpha now, but we spent so long doing it.
That's awesome. So tomorrow, after this video goes out, people will be able to try out the alpha, and that's gonna. So once you get the alpha, that's gonna be, active from that point forward, right? It's not gonna stop. And
no, we're going to keep supporting the alpha. We're going to work out what sort of drops we're doing. We've got so many other features which are in development at the moment, which we want to release so you guys can give us the feedback that we need. The first alpha, as I say, is predominantly paths, crowd, modular scenery, and placing down, connecting all the rides. So I'd love to have feedback on that. And then later on, we've got some obviously cool features like landscape terraforming, which you've seen a little bit.
Yeah.
You had a sneak peek of the coaster editor as well, which is definitely coming along. And so all these things are going to appear. I'd love to get your feedback.
So do you have? Is there any sort of schedule for when alpha updates will come out, or is it just working on when you're ready to add something in?
Yeah. So that would be appreciated if we had time to get things right before we release it, or get things to a state where it's not going to trip someone up. So when we get the feedback, it's on things that we don't know. I don't want to release something which we know there's a problem with it, it's hard to use. That's not information if I know it already. It's going to be weeks, not months or years or anything like that. And we're just still finalising the time, again, just gives a bit of time to get it right.
Yeah. So and the alphas are early enough that we can sort of provide feedback. If we're like, this is something that should be changed or something that we would love to see, there's enough time to actually get that done.
Well, that's why we're doing it. It's a simple.
So, and speaking of those updates, after the game does come out, will you be doing sort of smaller updates as well, or is it going to be focused on larger packs, or are you going to keep updating it as it goes on?
I think it's a model that we're really interested in, is to continually support the game. So yes, there will be smaller updates. Yes, there'll be larger updates. This game doesn't finish when it's released. It's too big. Coaster games have there's just so many ideas that I have, the team have, you guys have. I hope it doesn't stop. I hope we just keep adding to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good to hear. And this is just the start of Planet Coaster. I mean, it's not even out yet. It comes like...
No, we're just reimagining a whole genre. 10 years later, you saw what we did on our previous coaster games. Each one of those elements I want in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I can't imagine how you guys feel that this is finally something you can get out there and start doing.
When
as
you've
well.
spoken to some members of the team, it's not just me. I could be saying anything. It's like you've spoken to some members of the team here. We're all just. Yeah, we're just all psyched to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Incredible. So, I mean, you guys can check out the game. I'll link it down below so you can check out the early bird edition. You can play the game tomorrow. But thanks, Johnny, for joining me and answering some questions for me.
That's all right.
Thanks, guys.